Looking to take your financial knowledge to the next level? You're in the right place. Welcome to Ask Ralph, offering accounting, technical, and financial advice. Whether you're looking to save taxes or improve your business, he's got you covered. Here's your host of Ask Ralph, Ralph Eastup Jr.
Welcome back to the Ask Ralph Show. If you watch any television like me, you have been bombarded with H&R Block, Jackson Hewitt, and Liberty Tax telling you how great their new product called an advance loan on your tax refund is. And I thought I might take a little bit of time to talk about this today. I have an article that was run in the Sunday News Journal by Susan Tompour, ran on Sunday, January 14th. And the title of this is Tax Preparers Make Refund Pitches. And that's certainly what it is. It's certainly a pitch. And these advance loans are appealing. But you have to know what you're getting into. You know, millennials and others who are looking for fast cash to pay holiday bills are using these things. Now, actor John Hamm wearing bib overalls laments being stuck out after his old truck breaks down in a Dust Bowl setting in an H&R Block commercial. There's got to be a way to get us some money fast, Hamm's character says. If only there was some kind of advance we could get on our tax refund. So this pitch is really tempting, especially when the commercial says that you can get up to $3,000 in advance. And all the product companies are doing this. Jackson Hewitt, Liberty Tax, H&R Block. One of the things that they mention here in this article is Jackson Hewitt, which has its own refund advance product, said 43% of millennial taxpayers polled indicated in a recent survey that they plan to use their tax refund to pay off holiday debt. So that's what they're using the money for. Now, these advance loans are just that. They're a loan. And what these tax preparation houses have done is they partnered with banks and they've secured this loan with your tax refund. So the way the process works is you go into one of these tax preparation houses and they prepare your tax return and they figure out what their fees are going to be, and those fees come out first. And then they look at how much of a refund you're going to get and they issue a loan based on that. Now, they will tell you that there's no interest and no fees, but that's really just not the case. You know, one of the things it says here in this article is tax refunds can be the single biggest financial payout for many customers each year. So this is a hugely tempting thing. And when you see the fact that they're saying, well, there's no interest, there's no hassle here. And this is especially tempting now that the Internal Revenue Service is required to hold back some refunds until at least mid-February. They're doing that because of so much fraud from those people claiming the earned income tax credit or additional child tax credit. That's 15 million people who filed early last season were faced with that. So these tax preparation houses are using this as a way to stir up this business when they know that there's, this segment of the population that's interested in getting these. Now, let's talk about some of the specifics and some tips to avoid these fast loan problems. If you can't wait, once you start hearing about how great these tax loans are and these tax advances are, you're going to jump right at them. But not everybody's getting a 0% loan of $3,000 or so. One of the things it mentions here is Liberty Tax notes that for eligible for their maximum loan, which is $3,250, you need to have an expected federal income tax refund minus authorized fees for tax preparation of over $5,000. So, wow, they're going to give you $3,250 of your $5,000 refund. The available loan amounts at Liberty Tax are $500, $800, $1,300, and $3,250, but the actual loan amount will vary based on the expected refund amount, ID verification, eligibility criteria, and underwriting. So what are we talking about here? They're going to send you to the bank that's who handles these, and they're going to underwrite this as any other loan. For example, the refunds at H&R Block are in 4 different amounts: $500, $750, $1,250, or $3,000. What H&R Block says is the client needs to do a federal income tax refund of at least $1,000 to be eligible for a refund advance. But I can guarantee you, if you're getting $1,000 back, they're only going to give you half of that as a loan. And what's interesting is the average federal income tax refund last year, according to the IRS, was $2,782. Now, like I said, the problem with these is you can't go online and get these. It's not like this is an open line of credit. So the only way to get these is to go to one of these tax preparation places, and have them prepare your taxes. Now, they'll say that there's a 0% interest and there's no fees, but no fees does not mean there's no cost. Why is that? Most of these promotions for refund advances highlight that there are no finance charges, but all the tax preparation fees do apply. So you've got to understand what you're being charged for your tax return, and people don't see that. These folks are going in with the option of with the goal of getting this money, and they could care less what they're paying to get it. For example, H&R Block notes that you can file a federal 1040 EZ for free through February 28th. Well, that's fantastic. But the problem is most people can't file an EZ form. If you have any dependents or if you claim any other special allowances on your tax return, you can't file an EZ form. So this is where they get you. They're charging you their exorbitant rates to file their tax return. In fact, it notes in this article that mystery shopping tests have shown that tax preparation fees can be $400 to $500 for some lower or moderate income taxpayers who qualify for the earned income tax credit. So these are the people who need the money the most, and H&R Block and these other places, and I'm not just singling out H&R Block, Jackson, Hewitt, Liberty, are all doing the same thing. They're soaking them with these fees. And the thing you need to understand is there are plenty of ways for people to file a tax return without paying a fee at all. Now listen, I charge for tax preparation. I'm a full service accounting firm. But the truth is there are free file tax software that's available from the IRS.gov for many households with less than $66,000 in income. And you would get your refund pretty quickly anyway. Some lower and moderate income consumers could end up paying for tax preparation service simply to get one of these advance loans, even when they might qualify for free tax services via either volunteer sites such as Accounting Aid Society or other things in the area. Is this really the best way for you to get same-day cash? And do you really need this money in such a rush? I know a few years back, we were approached as an accounting practice to start offering refund loans. And this is not what I'm talking about here. These are actually advances before the tax return is even available to be processed. And you just have to take a hard look at these fees. I crack up when people call me and they say, well, I don't know if I can afford an accountant to do my tax return. And then, maybe I'll talk them into coming in and I'll take a look at their previous year tax return. Let's say they went to one of these, the big box tax preparation houses. And I look at the fees and I cringe because, for example, I've seen tax returns that are very simple, something that we would charge about $300 for. I've seen $550, $600 charges from some of these big places. And it's all because consumers are paying for, the benefit of getting their money quickly. But truth is, if you file your tax return, right after the filing opens up with direct deposit, you can really expect to get your refund in a couple weeks. Is it really worth, paying all these extra fees to get your money so quick? One of the other things we talked about in a broadcast a few weeks ago is, what are you doing with your refund? And if you're living so close to the edge, is this really the best way to handle your refund? Well, I hope this was helpful. And, if you're going to do one of these things, I just say, read the fine print and make sure you're getting everything that they're telling you they're getting. But remember, it's not free. And just because they say there's no fee, that doesn't mean there's no cost.
You've been listening to Ask Ralph, brought to you by Saggio Accounting Plus. Please subscribe to and rate our podcast on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts, and leave us a rating and review. Our podcast is produced by Carolyn Peters. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at Ask Ralph Media. You can also hear me each week on 1450 WILM and on 1410 WDOV in Delaware and on the iHeartRadio app. Submit your questions or ideas for future shows by sending an email to AskRalph@AskRalph.com.
The information contained in this episode of Ask Ralph is based on data available as of the date of its release. Saggio Accounting Plus and Ask Ralph Media Inc. is under no obligation to update this content if changes occur. Applying this information to your specific situation requires careful consideration of all facts and circumstances, and any information provided is not to be considered as financial, tax, or legal advice. Please consult your tax advisor or attorney before acting on any material covered.